Hi, this is Rob G. Welcome to Savvy. Today I want to talk to you about the details. Now, before you go and judge this video within 5 seconds, I just want to say that I know this seems like a very simplistic topic, and depending on who you talk to, you'll hear people say, don't pay attention to the details, or they don't have the time to put into the details because the job is good enough. I look at most things in life, whether it be web design or design in general, people's clothing, the way they dress, and you can see that average is dominant out there, and it doesn't have to be that way if you want to separate yourself no matter what you're applying it to. So the difference is in the details. So the difference is what? The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra, right? So that little extra is in the details. And one thing that has set what I do apart from many other people is the fact that I will take a little bit extra time, a little bit extra effort in thinking about the thing that is going to make the difference. So I could design average, I can dress average, and then just make little tweaks to raise the bar a bit with the details, and automatically I've separated myself from everybody else out there. So I know that there's a prevalent way of thinking in terms of, you want to get it done, and there's also a term out there which is becoming popular in the web world, and that's, you want things pixel perfect. Well, I'm not talking about perfect. I'm not even talking about knocking yourself dead trying to get every last detail in place and going overboard with how many tweaks you can make to something. Because as creative people, if you're a fine artist, sometimes the biggest challenge is knowing when to stop. Knowing when you're finished with your masterpiece, that at a certain point, it becomes ready for viewing, ready for the public, so to speak, and anything more than that actually takes away from it. So in keeping things simple, but paying attention to the details, there will be a separating factor. Now, there's a real world example of this, and this is just recently. My daughter got married, and as father of the bride, nobody really cares what you look like anyway. They only care about the bride. They want to look at her dress. They want to look at her hair. They want to talk about all that kind of stuff. And even the groom doesn't even really matter. In fact, I told my son-in-law that he shouldn't get bothered when people most likely don't pay attention, because nobody says the groom looks radiant. They only care about the bride. But as father of the bride, I wasn't in a tux. I was in a suit. And I have a black suit that I've had for quite some time, and I keep it in good condition. And I figured I'm just gonna wear this black suit. White shirt, tie, just like everybody else that attended the wedding, right? Every other guy there pretty much had a dark suit and a white shirt and some kind of tie. Well, the thing that I decided to do was I wanted to just separate myself just a little bit somehow. So yeah, I bought a new tie, but I didn't just stop at a tie. I looked for a tie set, because anybody could wear a really nice tie and they could say, hey, really nice tie, but everybody does that. So it's just average. So where is the separating factor in this? So in searching for a tie, I made sure I got the matching pocket square, I got the matching cuff links, and I even went so far as to search out site after site, store after store, for socks that would tie into the whole thing. Now, if you're not into clothing, you're thinking, I just show up as I show up, come as you are, and that's cool. No judgment here, but the point is this. More comments came about me than I would have ever suspected. People were telling family members that I looked sharp, that I looked dapper and all this, and this is not about me. This is about the point that the separating factor was in those little details that I added so that people would take notice. You follow me? So a lot of times as designers, as creative people, we tend to gloss over the details because they do take that extra time. And I've heard this time and time again throughout the years. Hey, they're not gonna notice anyway if it's not in there. And actually they're probably right. Nobody will notice. That's the problem. Nobody notices. You just stay average, completely forgetful. But when you do add something a little bit unexpected to your creation, people comment, people notice, people will say something, and automatically you become more memorable. And that's what we're talking about here in the creative world and in the business of design. You're looking for a separating factor. So, I predominantly do a lot of web design. I do logos, I do brand work as well. But in the world of web design, you can make a nice looking website and the client will love it and it'll look great and it will be nice. But then adding a little extra details such as the animations, as the page scrolls, things appearing, things movement, something that's dynamic, that acknowledges that somebody is sitting there viewing this website. Those are little details that I'll add in that I don't have to, and that the client would be fine without. If I didn't add them, they wouldn't say anything. They'd be just as happy, right? Well, we're not looking for they're fine with it. We're looking for them to go, I love how you did that there. I never would have thought of that. I love that. And that's what you're going for, and that's what the details do for you. What you want to do is you want to always be looking for a way to add the details. So lay your foundation for your designs, whatever it may be, and do a good job, and then raise the bar a little bit and make it really nice. And then see where you can go in and just enhance a little bit. Little tweak here, little addition there, little movement there, little pop of color that's unexpected, and those details will go a long way in making you differentiated from everybody else. And that's also a part of branding as well. David Breyer, branding expert, always says that branding is the art of differentiation, and differentiating yourself from other businesses is what you're looking for. So if you're thinking that, hey, it all sounds good, but I don't have time for that, I'm gonna tell you, in the creative world, designers, creative people are a dime a dozen. And you're just in a sea of creative people where it becomes a commodity, and designers are a commodity. Web designers are a commodity. So if a client can choose from anybody out there, what sets you apart? What differentiates you? Well, just let me suggest, why don't you just humor me and pay attention to those details. Take the extra time, take the extra effort, think a little bit longer about it, pay attention to it, embrace the whole design, and see how you can make it just a little bit more special. All right, so that's just a quick little something that I was thinking about, and actually happens, that I think about it on a much more regular basis than I'm letting on, because I do believe it's a big part of everything we do, and it can make everything that you touch a little bit more special and differentiated. So I'm Rob G. I want to invite you to put some comments below. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are and how you approach this idea of, pay attention to the details, and give me some ideas of what you've done to differentiate yourself. So as always, again, I'm Rob G. I want to thank you for watching, and remember, always be learning, always stay savvy.